we must bring the one and only Jack Westerkamp. I would much consider him at the forefront on the cresting wave of new media across the various interwebs. We must welcome him inside the show. Everybody welcome Jack Westerkamp, co-founder of Breaking It.
Thank you so much, guys. Also, shout out Proxima. Just let me
Let's go.
First to say shout out Proxima.
Let's go.
Yeah,
we love that.
Shout out Proxima. Absolutely. Do you guys?
As a
you got some background there?
No, none. Not, but until right now. But like, as someone who also does a live show, there's nothing I appreciate more than a good ad read, and you nailed it.
Of course.
So, absolute pleasure.
We got to do our best for all of our partners, as you know, Jack. Now, Jack, I have to say, I discovered you a few months ago on LinkedIn and Instagram. Brother, I love what you guys are doing. And I would love if you would just Google Earth out a little bit here and tell us, man, how you guys got this thing going. You're getting you got like umpteen thousand followers on LinkedIn. Everybody's watching and sharing and coming on the show. Man, how did you guys get here, man?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's kind of like, it's my co-founder / best friend, Gino, started a podcast in 2020 when we were graduating from college. He was just like a big advertising nerd, and we were in the pandemic. And so like, as any other 22-year-old guy does, you start a podcast. But but his was, instead of talking about like movies, he was talking about advertising professionals. So we just interviewed someone every week. And just kept it rolling for 4.5 years. And along the way, I was just helping him out with like the podcast. And eventually, I guess 2 years ago now, we decided to make the leap and just be like, what could a full-time business look like from this after you've interviewed 400 people in advertising? Like, I don't know what this is going to be, but there's enough momentum to like in connections and community that like there could be something. So we were like 26 at the time. No responsibilities really, moved from Chicago to New York into a 1-bedroom in the East Village. And we're just like, we weren't really making any money, but we were like, we've got enough runway to get us about 4.5 months. And if it doesn't work out, then whatever. Well, we're lucky enough, like I could just go back to my parents' basement. I think they kept my childhood bedroom. My childhood bedroom is probably still as it is because my parents probably still expect me to be returning home sometime soon. But yeah, and so it pretty much like it started as the podcast, and then when you go full time with like a media company, we didn't even really know what a media company was. We just started making content about advertising and marketing news. And I think you were mentioning it, but like the 60-second whiteboard news was kind of the first format or like first evidence that like, holy shit, like you can actually, we're getting like inbound sponsorship interest for this dumb like iPhone video that I would edit in CapCut. And at that point we were like, okay, we need to just do more of whatever it is that we're doing. And that's pretty much been it. And so now it's like, we're a media company and we have a live show and we do a bunch of other content. We just like, as you guys know, like you just figure it out along the way, try a bunch of different formats. But ultimately like the umbrella thing is that we're making content about advertising and marketing news.
Love it.
Wow. Could you talk to us a little bit, because you guys have interviewed a ton of people in advertising at this point. Who is doing, or who are a couple people that are doing the best advertising in 2026?
Well, you guys talked about it and it's spot on. I mean, what Anthropic has been able to do with Claude and like that campaign, I think it's like the most classic second mover advantage case study you'll ever see, because you guys were talking about like OpenAI, ChatGPT kind of were like the first ones that have to figure out how are we going to advertise to people with something, with a technology that people don't really know. So I think Claude, and like credit to them, like you still have to execute it, but they have such a benefit by just seeing the things that kind of weren't hitting with OpenAI and ChatGPT. I think like you guys were saying, like OpenAI is kind of in a tough spot because they're kind of trying to appeal to everyone in the same way that like Google search appealed to everyone. And Anthropic and Claude is like really they're obviously can appeal to a lot of people, but I think that they're just, with their messaging, with their products, they're keeping it pretty tight. And I think that that's working really well for them. But I would say, especially like in the advertising marketing community, the ability for Claude and Anthropic to take a new technology that most people don't like and actually be able to grow the business and have a pretty solid sentiment among people compared to all their competitors is one of the more fascinating things that we're seeing right now.
Yeah. I think, Jack, it's like you're saying, it's like they've just very simply, in a very positive narrative form, they have emphasized benefits rather than features. And it's like when I watch this RPN video and I'm like, man, this guy, he's having a great time. Okay, he's married, cool. Beautiful place. He's boxing in the middle of the day. He's the man.
He's the man. He's the man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And it's like, I want life with Claude too. And I want life with Claude. I mean, this is like this is advertising 101.
Yeah. Well, that's what like you guys are talking about it. This is the thing that kind of drives me up a wall. And I think like we very much are positioned to be like, we're going to talk about the highlights of advertising. We're going to talk about all the great things that are happening. There's a lot of like doom and gloom that exists. And it's like, people can have existential crises about like typical advertising agencies. But for us, it's like, this is a classic example. The core tenets and fundamentals of advertising have not changed. It's just a matter of how you execute it. So like that video would have been, a commercial that everyone would be seeing on their TVs during the late night shows that they watch. But now it's like, it just comes to us in a different form, which is like social media, sharing, things like that. So it does go to show that like the fundamentals are still the fundamentals. And I think Anthropic just is crushing it.
I mean, you just talked about that subtle shift right there of going from TV to socials. Where should brands be kind of advertising, and where have you heard from guests where the advertising is working correctly in these types of channels?
Yeah, this is kind of, Gary Vee talks a lot about a bunch of different stuff, but the one thing that he told us that was really, I think, just easy to understand is testing creative on Instagram, on organic social, and then taking that concept or execution and then bringing it to the paid universe. So like, depending on the brand and the budget, the paid universe might look like a TV spot. But I think there's like this shift up funnel for a lot of brands to be like, we should not be putting out TV commercials that haven't been tested on social. So it's like, I think that's kind of what you're seeing more and more of. And it's not perfect, but ultimately there's still such a massive opportunity to get such outsized advantage on organic social, even for brands. And like, you're seeing it happen more and more where brands are putting more money into like building bespoke Instagram channels that aren't the brand, because they know that like, if it's like, Taco Bell putting out a post versus a channel that's operated by Taco Bell, they can probably get more views with the non-Taco Bell channel, even though they have more followers for Taco Bell, because like you're earning trust in these more bespoke, unique, niche accounts. And so that's what a lot of brands are doing. You're seeing more and more of.
Wow.
Can we just comment on the subtle flex? We just scooped in there. Gary Vee told us while we were talking. I mean, really, Gary Vee on the freaking show, man.
I've got about 47 more name drops I need to get through before.
You're gonna keep dropping those names. You got to.
Keep dropping. Yeah, it's like I think like Stephen A. Smith does that a lot, or like Skip Bayless or whatever. It's like, I was having dinner last night with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I'm like, Gary Vee is my Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's incredible, man. Jack, tell me this. I mean, since you guys have gotten this rolling, I mean, who have been like your favorite people to have on the show, bro? I mean, Gary Vee being on the show is incredible.
Who's your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, we can do this. So you guys actually just talked about, and I was dying laughing backstage. But Oren John, great. Yeah, was a huge.
He's great.
He's a legend. He's so money. He's also you were talking about like he's the most Southern California person That's
Oh,
a good
so
way to
much.
put it.
So
It's crazy.
He leans into it.
He's
Yeah.
SoCal's favorite son. I mean, he
Yeah,
is like the
exactly.
embodiment of Southern California. He totally
Yeah. So those are two maybe like mainstream kind of people would know. And I'll give you two kind of, if you're not in advertising and marketing, you probably won't know, but they're kind of deep cuts. But one is Susan Cradle. So Susan Cradle is like, she came up with the M&M's characters. If you remember the M&M's characters over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's a goat, truly a goat. Like, and so now, and she's at this point, she's winning at Cannes Lions, the St. Mark Award, which is just like a lifetime achievement award. So like Susan Cradle, legend, like it ran one of the best advertising agencies for a long time. Came from a position where it's like, she came out of kind of like the Mad Men era and was just like a badass. This like female that just dominated, super creative, came up with the M&M's characters, like super iconic. And the last one for the Mount Rushmore for me is David Droga. David Droga is ran Droga 5. He has there's a 60 Minutes episode about him. And
bro.
he's insane. He's like, if you guys remember those old Under Armour Michael Phelps commercials, like those ones like coming out, his agency did all those. This is a very deep cut, but he had like the first viral marketing stunt for Echo where they pretended like they graffitied Air Force One, and all these news outlets picked up on it. And this was like in 2003. So like everyone actually thought it was real because we hadn't been exposed to like any sort of like Photoshop or anything. So for like a few days, people legitimately thought that Echo graffitied Air Force One. But yeah, two deep cuts. That's homework for everyone that's listening. Susan Cradle and David Droga.
Wow. Those are good ones, man. Could you talk to us a little bit about agency break-ins? Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I like this too. Tell us about agency. I love this, and I won't say that. Well, I won't say that we may have something on the calendar coming up that is similar. But tell us about agency break-ins. I like this format.
So this is like how we work with agencies. This is like also like a thing that we do that's like a paid sort of thing, like where we work with agencies and we make a custom piece of content about the agency, and it just so happens to be extremely good content. And so we will go to an ad agency and work with them on essentially like a concept. And the beauty of this is that we're like creating a piece of social content with the most creative people in the universe. So it's like they're like in it with us. So we come up with a concept and then we go to the agency and we shoot a like short form video pretty much, or a couple of them depending on what the concept is. And those are a blast. Like we went to Austin and we called it like an Austin City tour. This is kind of inspired by like, I used to watch these YouTube series by this guy. I forget, his name was Devin, but he would go to like LA and cover all of the basketball scene in LA. And go grassroots to like the professional teams. And so we're kind of like taking that format and bringing it to ad agencies where it's like, we're going very specific and it's a blast. And you just like, in advertising agency world, there's so much fascination with the names and the individuals and all of that. Or sorry, I mixed it up. There's so much fascination with like the agency names and then like, the classic ones like FCB, BBDO, these like massive names, but there's not really much about the individuals themselves. So it's kind of like we kind of open the doors to the agency and you get to meet the people that are there. And then you just make a funny piece of content that is pretty good. So yeah, we've had a lot of fun with those.
I like this. I wonder like, Jack, what's next for you guys? I mean, it feels like you're always cooking up new things. You got the live show, you've got the 60-second whiteboard piece, you got these break-ins. Like, where are things going next for you guys, man? This is I of course I like this because I'm doing something akin to this. So there's a kind of a kindred spirit thing going on here. But
we're brothers in arms. We're brothers in arms, I think. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next. I think it's like to your point, it has to include innovating and testing and trying new stuff constantly. Like, I think that's the fun thing for us and our crew is like, you have free reign to do whatever you want essentially. And being able to continue to do that is really the focus. And ideally that comes with, growing the follower accounts, growing the influence, being able to just create better content, and then seeing where that brings us. We don't really have an interest in replacing your traditional advertising trade publications, which I think are so necessary and probably more necessary now than ever to have like legitimate, real reporting from people that are trained in that. I think for us, like, we just want to be an additional thing to supplement people's media appetites and just be valuable for people in advertising and marketing, or people that are interested in advertising and marketing. So as long as we keep doing that, like, the opportunities sort of show up here and there. But we've got Cannes Lions coming up next month, or in 2 weeks, and that's a big one. Cannes Lions is like the Cannes Film Festival, but for advertising and marketing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's your Super Bowl.
It is, and people are like, "Isn't it going to be so fun?" And I'm like, "No, I'm there to do a job. We're doing the live show. I'm there to work. Like, I'm not having fun. This is not a field trip. No, it'll be a blast. But we're doing the live show live at Cannes Lions.
Nice.
And
Love it.
so it's like, it's going to be, we're trying to make it like College Game Day.
I love that.
Dig it so much.
Chris loves that, what you just said.
Have you guys thought about that? Have you guys thought about bringing this like on the road, or?
Oh, you just touched Chris's heart right to the there.
Thank you
yeah, Jack,
for Jack. It's like you've been reading the minutes of our meetings here for this show. What I will say, we were on location for Commerce Roundtable when came to Austin. Great e-commerce. One of the absolute best direct-to-consumer events that exist. There's going to be another one in San Diego that we will be at in August. And there could be. I can't say anything. I can't say anything. But
we can't talk about right now.
There's one we can't talk about, but I will say I love it absolutely so much. I love it so much.
Reverse scoop. It's the reverse scoop. I went and tried to get the scoop from you guys currently on your live show. As two, we're in the scoop game, and I have to respect the scoop game.
We're in the scoop game.
Speaking of that, I was going to say, I mean, kind of last question for you, but like, we have interviewed so many kind of brand founders and like just these beasts that have been on the show that are kind of up and coming, and we'll leave the show and Chris and I will talk to each other after and be like, can we just give that guy all of our money because he's so good? Do you have any kind of like up and coming people in the agency world or advertising world where you were like, God, that guy is not huge. He's not like our Mount Rushmore people.
Yeah.
But I swear, you see it, you feel it. And have you had those people on the show?
There's just probably recency bias, but there's, last week, there's this guy, Mo Saeed, and he runs an agency called Mojo Supermarket. Mojo Supermarket they are kind of like the social media agency for a lot of big brands. Mo is pretty young, and Mo and Mojo Supermarket, you would know them from when the McDonald's Big Arch thing happened. The McDonald's CEO eating remember that?
The product. Eating the product.
He was eating the product. It's a great product. And right after that, you like saw Burger King was the first to respond. And it was so funny because it was like the CEO being an actual normal person eating the burger, and they were the quickest, and that one was viral. So that was Mojo Supermarket. That they did that. Yeah. This is what gets me fired up because it's like they're just money and they get it like culturally, and Mo is dead on it, and they're at the forefront, and they were name dropped. They were on the show last week, and he was kind of explaining him and his head of strategy, that the advertising agencies are going to go one of two ways. You can either go all in on like search and performance marketing, more lower funnel conversion, or you can be an agency that goes more top of funnel, awareness, social, create content that's just like dynamite, like the Claude thing. And they're kind of focusing on going in the social direction. So they've kind of converted a lot of agency relationships or client relationships to just be like social agency of record, focus on that and let it inform, like I was saying, the Gary Vee method, let it inform a lot of the decisions downstream. But I think Mo sees the writing on the wall. That's like the best thing that ad agencies and creative agencies can be for a brand is like idea makers, crazy creatives, super in touch with culture, just be cool and like help guide a brand through that. And I think Mo and Mojo Supermarket is really, really well positioned because they've been doing it for a little bit and they have great brand relationships and they kind of know what's coming next.
Man, that is impressive.
That's spicy. Yeah, Chris and I love that campaign.
Great. Yeah, this is like, well, that's what's most fun, I think, about the content that we make is like because of the nature of these brand client agency relationships, you don't really know what agencies are necessarily doing all these ads. Like the agency that does all them Claude work is called Mother, and they're like the best agency in the world right now. So like for us in the advertising world, we're like, it's no surprise that Claude has the best branding and like campaigns out right now because we know the agency is unreal. So that's what's most fun for us is you just kind of like uncover these nuggets of the people that are actually doing the stuff and are behind it all.
Wow. Yeah, there's a great thing that's happening like over there with you guys where you just all of the agencies and everything that I'm involved in, it's all performance marketing focused. It's all ROI driven. It's all this. And man, you guys have this incredible window to everything that's happening on the upper funnel side.
Yeah,
I think it's so
it's just it's for us, it's really fun and really interesting. Like obviously like the performance stuff and ROI stuff is so important. DTC, obviously, like it's huge, and there's so much there. It's just fun to talk about like the Super Bowl commercials. It's fun to talk about the upper funnel stuff, and it's exciting. So I get it.
Well, Jack, when we come to NYC, we want to break in on you.
Come on, mega stream.
We'll do a mega stream together. Man, we appreciate you making the time to join us. Tell everybody where to find you, follow you, subscribe, and stay up to date with everything you're doing.
Breaking and Entering Media on Instagram, Breaking and Entering Media on LinkedIn, live show. We're live tomorrow if you guys want.
Let's go,
I would say ideal life is you just have our stream and your guys' stream, just both with sound on too.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agree. Totally agree. Jack, we appreciate you making the time to join us. Look forward to having you back, brother. Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.